I stopped it all. Family, church, truths, stopped it all. Made it all go away. I did that for self-preservation. You see, when I lived my life in the realm of what my family thought, what church taught, and what their truths were, I was ignoring my truth. I was ignoring my life, and I was living through other people's eyes. It was time that I viewed myself, and I realized that in order to do so, I had to take control of me. I could no longer allow family to tell me what I could and could not do, or how I should and should not live, or what I thought and didn't think to be factual. I had to get rid of that. So I did. You see, let's give you a quick synopsis. I grew up this way, real quick. I'm going to give you it in a few seconds. I grew up in a home of 7 children. I was the 6th of 7th born. Now, we all have our mama, but we have different baby daddy. That's what we all have. I didn't know that until I was 50. So the truths came out at 50 on why my family was the way it was. When you start connecting dots, you realize things aren't always what they seem. I learned that I no longer had to walk in soft shoe things and walk around situations that I always understood to be uncomfortable, and I never knew why. But here's the truth of it. It all came together and all came crashing down when I discovered who my real father was at 50 years of age. Now, many relatives already knew it. They just never talked about it. Well, at 50, they were all dead. Who was I going to talk to about it? They were all gone. I couldn't no longer put the pieces together by making a phone call. Oh, but I made phone calls lots of times before I was 50. I would call family to be judged. I would call family to be scorned. I would call family and talk to them to be told I was wrong. All those things happened. When you grew up that way and it all gets shoved inside, you believe there's something wrong with you. Let's recap. At 3.5 years of age, I had second and third degree burns over 60% of my body. It happened. Painful as hell, and I still remember it. I remember it clearly sitting in my high chair at the table with all my siblings when a sibling to just slightly off my left side and slightly in front of me took one big kick on my high chair, knocked me backwards into a utility table in a 35-cup coffee pot, scorched my body. That happened at 3.5. By the time I was 5, I was in my first foster home because of a drunken mother and drugged out father who just wasn't around. So by age 6, the child molestation took place. Oh yeah. 2 brothers, Randy, Craig. Both of them had their way with me. I didn't know what was going on. I thought that's the way everybody lived. By the time I was 9, my sister was having me fill her up to see if she was fully developed. Yep, Vicky, you did that. I tumbled down at age 11. My drunken mother killed herself in a car wreck. I was told it was my fault because I drove her to drink because I just wasn't a good child. Those are things that you're told. By the time I was 11 and my mother had been killed in a car crash, then I had to go live with an abusive aunt and uncle. The abusive aunt and uncle, Evelyn and Dick Cisco, they're the ones who raised me in Cedar Rapids, Iowa at the age of 11. I know now why I was brought on board. I was brought on board because they had a 13-acre farm and they were pillars in the society where we lived. They owned their own shop, their own barber shop. So everybody knew them as pillars of a society, and they were the ones who had the money in the town I grew up in. Well, behind closed doors, they were doing their little bit of drinky, and they were having philanderous parties. They were into porn. They also were into beating people up. Oh yeah, they beat the kids up. My first 2x4 across the middle of my back was by the age of 13. Yeah, my aunt did those things. My uncle, that big fist, I remember being in a leather glove. Many times it came hit me in my face, slapped me up against the wall, slapped me silly. See, that's the way you treat children if you want them to respect you. All those things happened. By the time I was 16, I ran away. Ran away the day I was beat so bloody I could hardly walk. That's what happened. By the time I was 17, I was living on my own, had my own apartment, still graduated from high school, had no car. Well, here I am today. I'm here today to tell you that family was the root of the problem. Now, people say, well, Jeff, it was your family. Oh, I know there's many families out there, just like the one I've described, that we don't talk about. You see, we let our families tell us what is right. We let our families tell us what is wrong. We let our families judge us and tell us that this is the way you have to act and this is the way you have to talk. Oh, that's not the way I remember it. You see, if your family tells you those things, you must believe it. The moment you buck up and say, that's not right. That's not what happened. This isn't what it was all about. They start to judge you. Now, I quit my family because I had to let the judgment go. Now, I confronted all my siblings in regards to the molestation that took place as a child. Of course, they all denied it, and I knew they would. But I didn't do it to confront them. I did it to take it away from me and let them own that part of my pain in my life. See, if I held on to that pain, it stopped me from growing. So I let them have that pain back. I said, look, I know what you did. I know what happened. It's in my mind clearly. I can't make this stuff up. I know exactly how big and little you are. I know exactly how things feel when they're touched. I remember those things. Those are things that don't go away. I remember the heat of the body, of the burns that transformed my body for a whole year laying in a hospital getting plastic surgeries. I remember all that. I remember who did what. I remember why it happened. But what I didn't remember was why you did it. Couldn't understand that as a child. As an adult, I could. So I had to let family go. Family crippled me. It crippled me. Well, then when I came out gay, oh, child, then we got into religious factors. God is sending you to hell. And I used to think to myself, why? If we have a loving God that loves us all, why would he send me to hell? He's supposed to love me for who I am. He created me in the likeness of himself. Therefore, I am the likeness of God. That's what I was taught to believe. So if I was the likeness of God and he scorns me and he's going to send me to hell and he hates me, how can he be a loving God? Those are confusions that went around in my head all the time. So I was always told I was going to go to hell. Gonna go to hell, Jeff. And it scared me to no end. Then I got cancer at the age of 44. At the age of 44, I got lung cancer, non-smoker. What happened? Who knows? It's in God's hands. This is what God wanted it to be. That's what the church will tell you. This is what God intended for you. It's a growth cycle for you to grow and go through in order to become a better version of yourself in the likeness of God. All that nonsense never made sense. It didn't. Nonsense never made sense to me. Confusing as it could be. Oh, I've got those religious scholars who say, Jeff, this is really what it means. Jeff, listen to me because I know the way. Along those paths, I was told you're going to hell because you're gay. Confusion set in. Couldn't understand how God made this happen to me for a reason for me to get through this part of my life that didn't make any sense and didn't matter because I was going to hell anyhow. So I had to take a look at religion. When I finally took a look at religion, I said to people, you were praying for me? You should have prayed harder because God wasn't listening. If you were praying for me, you should have prayed much harder and it would have never happened because see, prayer works. Prayer works. If you prayed harder, it would have never knocked on my door and said, hey, you little gay boy, you've got cancer because she didn't pray hard enough. That's when I learned that it's all fable. It's all a fable. Prayers don't work, at least for me. Now, I'm going to piss some people off. I am already aware of that. And I know that that's their anger that they get to sit with because something inside of them resonates that I attacked their beliefs, let alone that their beliefs have always attacked me. You see the balance? Truths. Truths come out because people have to identify the fact that they prayed, but they did it wrong. Yeah, I think prayer is wrong. You can't pray away the gay. I'm still here. So what's happening with your prayers? Then they tell me I'm going to go to hell. See, all those things messed me up for so long. I finally got to a point where I said to them, what concern is it of yours? Why should you care if I go to hell? You don't even like me, let alone know me. But you're concerned that I'm going to go to hell? That'd be like saying that I'm going to go run away and you're going to pray that I don't. Your prayer is not going to stop me from running away because I'm not going to stay where I'm not wanted. You see, it's all about truths. I did not know for the longest time that there was a difference between truths and realities. Reality is this. I was told truthfully, big old fat man's coming down my chimney and he's going to deliver gifts to me only if I'm a good little boy. See how that conditions you to a thought process that you must be good to receive gifts. It's so confusing inside a child's head. But I was told that when I realized that fat man was really a family member, a foster parent, a stranger, a church maybe, is the one who gave me the gift. Wasn't no fat man coming down my chimney. And there was lots of times we didn't have chimneys. How was he going to find me? I was also told that an Easter bunny comes around and he shits in your yard and leaves you little eggs. That's what I was taught. Easter bunnies leave you little Easter eggs in a basket full of goodies. That's what happens. Well, I must tell you, I learned that's not true either. So my whole point of this satire is this. I had to let family go. I let them go because judge me not. I didn't allow it anymore. Scorn me twice. Wasn't going to allow it anymore. Pray for me so that wasn't going to happen anymore. Going to hell is my eternity. Not in my world. Truths set me free. The truths are what set me free. My truth, care not what anyone thinks of you. Doesn't change who I am. I am a good person who has become successful in life, who has an abundance of love to joy, an abundance of love to share to those who are in my realm of no judgment, of just acceptance. You see, your Bible teaches, according to your versions of Bibles, that you should not judge your neighbors. You shouldn't do that. Judge not, and you too will not be judged. I ain't judging nobody. I'm just saying the door's closed. It's not even ajar. You can no longer come in if you cannot be truthful, if you cannot be judgmental, if you cannot be ridiculing someone because of your Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist, Hinduish, Methodist, Presbyterian, Baptist, Catholics. See how confusing it gets? Beliefs. Now, you truthfully don't know what happens when you die because you ain't been there yet. Just like you don't know what it's like to drive a car till you get behind the wheel. Just like you don't know what it's like to own a house till you do. You don't know those things. You have faith. Oh, I had faith I'd drive a car. But I'm the one that got in the driver's seat and propelled it forward. See, that was me. I had faith I'd own a house, but I was the one who had to come up with the dollars to purchase it, to buy my house. I no longer was going to give my dollars to a church for them to purchase their wealth. Truths. So I have set myself free from all of it. That's kind of how I got to where I'm at 68. I let family stop judging me. I let churches stop scorning me. And my truths are this. I am what I am. What I am needs no excuses. I bang my own drums. I play my own music. I think it's pretty. Some people think it's noise. It's my life. I get one chance at it. And I'm not apologetic. And I give it this way. No apologies for being me. Thanks for listening. Tell me what you have quit. Take on your day. Be kind.